What's up, team? Welcome to season 2, but episode 13 of the East Coast Quarantine Kitchen. So happy to have you back. Feeling very fresh-faced today, mustache all gone, even cut my own hair. Look at this hack job. I'm gonna have to shave my whole head because of this. Not so bad, not so bad, very bad, very bad, very bad, very bad. Anyway, whatever. Rocking hats anyway, but
Can
probably
you
will.
just make it clear that you did this?
Yeah, that was me. Sorry. Yeah, I just went down to trim off my mustache and came up with most of my hair ruined. So we'll be shaving my head likely tonight. So tomorrow I will be totally bald. But we're learning, we're growing, we're surviving and doing what we got to do here during very difficult times. So I'm going to be trying something a little bit different. For moving forward with East Coast Quarantine Kitchen, I'm going to be doing like a full-on video instead of doing the stories because it's just a pain to upload. So hopefully this works. Hope you guys enjoy it. If there's any major feedback, just let me know and I can go back to the stories. But I think this makes things a little bit easier for us all. So what are we cooking today? We're going very utilitarian today. It's been a great 2 weeks. I've loved it. But frankly, I don't usually eat the kinds of foods that we're eating all the time. A lot of the dishes I do, but like the scones, all the carbs, the breads, the desserts, the pretzels, they're taking a toll. We gotta smarten up our eating here. So that's what we're gonna do today.
Just for one day.
Just for one day. This is not gonna turn into like a Whole30 or paleo thing. I just give me a day of vegetables. That's all I ask. But what we're doing today is something that we cook, honest to goodness, probably 3 to 4 nights a week. This is what we eat when we get home and need some nutrients quick that are really, really delicious. This is a major kitchen hack. And what do you need is the almighty bake sheet. Get a good one. I've mentioned that before. I used to have these Betty Crocker ones that really sucked. These ones are great. Got them at Costco. They're not expensive, like under $10, but they last a long time and they're super delicious. So all we're gonna be doing today is really, really beautifully roasted cauliflower, carrots, and I have Brussels sprouts as well. But you can use whatever. If you have sweet potatoes, if you have leeks, if you have onions, whatever you want. It's just getting them into the oven on super high heat. That is the trick. I find for the longest time I would keep my oven at like 350 and it would never make vegetables super delicious. So today I'm gonna break it all down, show you how we season, get it in the oven, because it makes a big difference. This will become a staple in your house. I absolutely guarantee it. Those chicken thighs that we've done before, plus a sheet pan of vegetables. This is how we serve it at home, is just 2 sheet pans, and Jess and I just like eat it out of a trough basically. But they're delicious, super healthy. We'll get back to the fun stuff come tomorrow, but let's just give ourselves a little break and something healthy. So let's get started on how we make this happen. Another reason I'm doing a little bit longer format here is for IGTV, first and foremost, but I think I'm gonna chuck all this Quarantine Kitchen series up on YouTube and might as well start creating some content because this has been super fun and appreciate everyone following along. It's been a fun couple weeks and we're just getting started. So as I mentioned, what we're gonna do here is prep up the veg. So what I have is I have a whole head of cauliflower. I've got Brussels sprouts with wheat. We eat so many Brussels sprouts. They're one of my favorite vegetables. I'm gonna do a couple segments, maybe 2 segments of Brussels sprouts in the upcoming days because this is something I order at restaurants all the time and it's really not that difficult. So while we can't go to restaurants, I'll show you how to make kind of like a restaurant style Brussels sprout dish on another day. And then I've got some carrots. So nothing too fancy, stuff that people have in their fridge. I've got some sweet potatoes in the pantry that I might add on here as well. So all we're gonna do is break down these veg into different sizes. So I'm just gonna kick on and do that and then show you what they actually look, the individual vegetables look like once that's done. In the meantime, let's speed it up. Okay, we get the veg all prepped up. We're going to put these onto the sheet pan. The important piece here is to make sure that you do not overcrowd the sheet pan itself. If you just load on all of these veg, they'll end up steaming and not getting really roasted because we're looking for that deep roasted, almost charred on top because burnt is a flavor, folks, as we all know. So we're just going to pop on and kind of cut the carrots like this. Sweet potatoes were in these shapes. The Brussels sprouts, I just cut in half. And then we've got the cauliflower as well, which are just kind of broken up into little florets. I took a lot of the stem part off just because I really love kind of the... What's up, dude? Oh my goodness, the froggy's wearing a shirt. You want the like floret part. That's where a lot of the flavor is. Once they're roasted, it takes on the color the most. So you can really eat these in any fashion. Just we're gonna drench these in olive oil, salt, pepper. You can put, if you wanted to put cumin, if you want to put paprika, you can take this dish in a million different ways. What we'll do today, because I'm deeply missing my right-hand man, Brad George, he started doing this sauce really recently. It's a salsa verde that is wonderfully bright, delicious, so much acid. It goes really well with roasted veg. So I have a thing of parsley in the fridge, a little bit of white wine vinegar, some garlic, lemon. We put a little bit of sesame seeds. I've got some Asiago cheese. So think almost like a mix between a pesto and a chimichurri, but it's truly lovely. And with fresh veg, it's delightful. So again, nothing groundbreaking here, but a really fun thing to eat when you're craving vegetables. When you just need a supper relatively quick, this is our go-to. I absolutely love it. So excited to share this with you. So we've got everything on the pan itself. Now it's just, we're gonna olive oil. It's gonna need quite a bit of olive oil. I find it makes a big difference because it almost like confits the vegetable in a way. So I would say I'm using in this one better part of a half a cup at least, because I want a lot of olive oil on it because it makes them super delicious. Then we're gonna season. I'm just gonna use salt and pepper because we are gonna make that salsa verde. But again, if you wanted to add a little bit of cumin into this, coriander, really garam masala, we can take this in a million different ways, but we're gonna keep it pretty basic here. It's just so lovely. It's really, really soul satisfying. Okay, these are ready to rock. I added a couple leeks on top. I may have overcrowded the pan after just telling you not to do it, but it doesn't really matter. It might just have to stay in the oven a little bit longer. So I have the oven at 450. So it's those higher temperatures that add so much flavor because it just heats it. It just blasts it with heat and adds caramelization, a little bit of char. So that's where the flavor is. So I'm gonna pop this in the oven. I'm guessing at this point, but I'm gonna say like, let's say 45 minutes. So it's an easy one to do in advance. Just get them all chopped, chuck them in the oven, leave it. If this is all you want to eat that in the night, you have loads of time just to chill with the kids. But if you do have a little bit more time, we can make this salsa verde, which is really, really delicious. Sometimes what we'll do is just take these roasted vegetables, put them into a bowl with a ton of fresh herbs like mint, basil, and then we'll put like raspberries on it with a little bit of feta cheese. It's not a true fattoush in any way, but we call it that here. But that's a lovely salad that Jess just loves when it's fattoush night here at the Chapman Hayes.
Really
So
do.
anyway, gonna pop this in the oven. Shout out to everyone watching that is quarantined with kids. It's a whole other experience. Today is a good day though. Saw a hilarious meme, people talking about like the baby boom that will happen 9 months from now, like the COVID-19 baby boom, and the fact that all of those children will be firstborns for most people. No one with kids right now is having more. Ah, look, a dolly. That's great, Vivi. I love them deeply. Okay, for this sauce, this salsa verde that we're gonna be making, what we're gonna need is you're gonna need some garlic. So it depends on how garlicky you like it. I have no limit to garlic. I absolutely love it. So I'll probably use 4 to 5 cloves, some lemon juice. I've got like Italian curly parsley, but you could do this with, it's best if you have cilantro is wonderful, mint, you can kind of mix that in there, a little bit of basil, just straight up like parsley. This is all I'm working with now. So we're gonna use this. Actually, I might have some of that basil kicking over from Very Local Greens, so I may put some of that in there. And then, so depth of flavor, the freshness of the herbs, the brightness of the lemon, white wine vinegar. We talked about this a number of times. Brad introduced me to kind of using white wine vinegar more. It's awesome. I would say use this in more of your cooking. Olive oil. I have some of these anchovies. Are these anchovies? What are these things? Yeah, anchovies. Are these anchovies? What are these called? I feel like I'm saying the wrong thing.
What
They're
do you
like
mean?
used in Italian cooking. I think it's anchovies. It's anchovies.
Why'd you ask me?
I don't know. Now I'm just confusing myself. It's anchovies, but it's all, we bought it when we were in Italy a while back. They store quite well. Anyway, it's anchovies. If it's not anchovies, someone call me out on this, but I'm nearly 99% it's anchovies. I'm looking for like the umami, fishy taste just a little bit. So we're gonna use that. And we got some sesame seeds, and I've got some of that Asiago still kicking around. So we're just gonna build this. We're gonna put the herbs and the garlic in first. Add in some of, really can add in all the ingredients at the same time and just stream in the oil if you want to, or just blitz it all at the same time. So I'm gonna prep all of these right now, and we'll speed it up, and I'll show you what it looks like once we get it all blended. And I'll report back if I come across anything else too. Just a quick thing before I start building this all out, and I did find some basil, and I have some micro cilantro that I may chuck in as well just to brighten it up. When you're using parsley, be careful not to use too much of the stems. They're kind of bitter and can take over the whole flavor, so maybe chop off the majority of the stems of any parsley that we're gonna use inside of this salsa verde. Okay, now I'm gonna speed it up. So I just blitzed everything up in here. So one thing that I just recently learned, I signed up for a master class, and it was Massimo. Chef Massimo was making a salsa verde very similar to this. And one thing that he said that I stuck with me big time was anytime you're making pestos or anything like this, sometimes if you add in, you're looking for more liquid. It's not blitzing well enough, and you'll add in more oil or maybe add in more lemon juice, more vinegar, and it can throw off a lot of the color and can throw off the taste. What he started talking about was the importance of thinking about water. I have just a little bit of ice water here as an ingredient. Because what that allows us to do, especially because I have ice water, it keeps the temperature of the overall mix very cold. So it doesn't cause the green or the herbs to oxidize or turn brown. So it keeps it quite bright. Just a little tip from Chef Massimo there, but I thought that was pretty cool because I did need liquid in this. So I just probably took about quarter cup, half cup of ice water, and it made a big difference. So give it a try. Okay, so this is all blitzed up. The key with anything is taste. You're very rarely in any sort of sauce that you're making gonna get it perfect on the first try. It's all about tasting and then adjusting. I love the color of this. It's lacking a little bit of acid and probably some salt as well. So I have some of this Parmesan cheese. Probably gonna make it too salty now for Jess, but neither here nor there. A little bit of parm in there. I'm gonna add a little bit more, probably another tablespoon-ish of white wine vin, and then some pepper to balance both of those out a little bit. So I'm gonna blitz this, give it another try. Keep on tasting, improving, and just adjusting as you go. It's all based on what you taste and what your preferences are. Okay, I think it's where I want it to be. Maybe a little bit thinner than I wanted. Might have added too much of that water. I was getting a little cocky about it, but the color is beautiful. It's actually where it is thin. I think it'll go over the vegetables quite well. So this is all done. I'm just gonna let this chill. And now we've got about another half hour or so before the veg is all ready to rock. So feel free to grab a coffee, chill out. Dean from Anchor Coffee dropped off some of the 2F by C croissant dough. So I may just take a couple minutes to spin up some croissants to chuck in the freezer so that we can send it out to friends and family over the next little bit. But thank you to Dean. But we'll speed that up so you guys can see what I'm up to. All right, we got Vivi and I, which you can't see. Hey, Vivi, what up? Just rolled up all of these croissants. They're looking pretty sketchy, but we did a good job, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. So veggies are almost done. Okay, 45 minutes. Sorry, just had some of that salsa verde. It's delicious. Anyway, 45 minutes done. The veg are all out, nice and crispy. I chucked it on broil for a couple seconds at the end just to crisp up a little bit of that cauliflower a little bit more. Just gonna let this temp come down. I'm gonna hit it with some of the salsa verde, a little bit of Parmesan cheese that I have, then maybe a couple greens from Very Local Greens, but this is almost there. Nothing fancy today, but this is so delicious. Don't sleep on it. Microgreens are so magic. I mean, there's a time and a place for an edible flower. I love them. I don't care. I don't care what people say. I don't care. I like edible flowers. I find they're pretty. Look at this. It's just a sheet tray of vegetables, but it's beautiful. Producer Jess, we've got lunch ready here. I guess it's almost dinner. Something you've seen many times before.
Oh yeah.
Many times before. It's going to be presented. Oh, sorry, I'm showing myself here.
Okay.
You've seen this before. You've tasted it many times,
Looks great.
but a little bit different, a little bit fancier. Let me get you a
Fork?
But right off the bat, what's your initial thoughts?
I think it looks beautiful.
Okay.
What do we got here?
So we got some roasted cauliflower on this side. We've got some Brussels sprouts, a couple sweet potatoes, carrots,
Okay.
a salsa verde, the one that Brad usually makes.
Oh.
Finished it with a little bit of parm and then the microgreens.
All right.
So that's what we're working with here.
Okay. Looks great. I'm gonna try Brussels sprout here.
I might try as well.
Like the finishing with the parm.
Yeah.
That was a nice call.
Getting kind of the high notes from the salsa verde.
Ooh, very fresh parsley.
Overall, a really good weeknight meal. We haven't got the final verdict, but just saying this is a weeknight treat.
I mean, certainly let me try all the vegetables, but it's A+ for me so far.
Still a big bite here. This bite carries a lot of weight.
It's excellent. I want more of the verde.
More of the verde. We can do that. It's Friday, you can tell. She's just exhausted from this week. Just taste testing constantly. She's just...
No,
Anyway, folks,
I'm just kidding.
that one may seem a little too easy, but trust me, that will be added into your arsenal of weekly meals.
Staple.
And share, like, subscribe, and show other people how easy it is to eat some of the best vegetables ever. Oh, and Violet wants blueberries right on cue. Thank you all. We will see you tomorrow. It's going to be a beautiful day. I'm firing up that barbecue. We're heading down to Alderney Landing to pick up, the Alderney Market has a pickup grocery thing going down. We're picking up some ground meat. I'm thinking it's going to be burgers. Stay at home tomorrow. It's going to be a beautiful day. Don't be tempted to go to the beach, go to the park, stay home, and eat hamburgers with me. See you tomorrow. Additional thought here. Producer Jess just left the room real quick. But we were just saying this is a really great hack that you should do at home. The key here is that oven. Get it ripping hot and just allow the vegetables to char up. It adds so much flavor. Everything's really soft on the inside, but on the outside it has a really nice crust. Anyway, it's super good. Make this at home. Make this a couple times a week, and it makes it eating healthier a lot easier.
Leftovers too.
Great leftovers. Incredible leftovers. Anyway, enjoy this one. It's super fun.